Mr. Conductor, could you please send this for me? I'm Station Manager Stacy Jones, inviting all of you to come and visit me and my nephew Dan, his friends Becky and Kara, and our new engineer, Billy Two Feathers, oh yes, and Schemer, right here at Shining Time Station. It's a place where anything can happen, from magic shows to a magical conductor, where Thomas and his friends are having adventures you've never seen before, and where the jukebox band is playing all new songs. So, there's a whole new season of Shining Time Station filled with chills and spills, a baseball game, and even a wedding. But you better hurry over, because you never know who else will be visiting Shining Time Station. Well, see you later. Has the letter arrived yet?
Yep, they've already got it.
George Carlin joins the gang, weekdays at 8 and 3.
I'm Charlie Rose. Our subject's interesting people engaged in the search for power, human dignity, and personal self-fulfillment. Tomorrow's headlines tonight here on Charlie Rose, weeknights at 11.
It's the story of a spirited young girl who grew up to become an extraordinary young woman. Megan Follows is Anne of Green Gables in the Emmy Award-winning production that also stars Colleen Dewhurst and Richard Farnsworth. It's television the whole family can enjoy together. The kind of classic story and quality production you just don't see anymore. But you'll see it here when you tune in our Anne of Green Gables Marathon all day long, Sunday, December 8th, beginning at 9 a.m.
My grandfather got me watching my favorite show on the PBS channel. I watched Nova,
Rachel in Contact,
Reading Rainbow, and
Big Board with Snuffleupagus.
They're just great programs.
public broadcasting. It's entertainment and you're learning at the same time.
Major funding for this afternoon's programming is provided by the Helena Rubinstein Foundation, a longtime supporter of outstanding children's television.
$1.25 for beats and rhymes. So rehearsal starts at 7 o'clock. Beatbox, tell me, what time have you got?
I'm hungry.
Let's see.
Hungry.
Oh, watch this. 7 o'clock already. Wow, we better get moving right now.
Wait, here's where it gets good. So he said, Bermuda, what's wrong with the parking lot? Yeah, you don't like that one. He's a very tough audience, folks. Listen, there's going to be a lot wrong with your parking lot if you don't get those math pledges rolling into our phone banks. Now, come on, we're serious. We got a great day ahead of us. We got a great load of people in here to answer the phones. Look at this. All these celebrities are here to help you out, so come on in with those math. Hang on a second. There's one empty seat. I'm sorry. Someone's not here yet. I don't... Get out of here. But the kid is definitely not my son. Michael, good to have you here. How are you, Gay? Listen, you're up there on the second row there. Inch on over to the fourth seat. This is looking... Ow! Ooh! Oh, looks like it hurts. Ah, sticking through the shoulder. Hey, ow! This way, right. Oh, yeah! Definitely. God, we got a great bunch of people here. Hey, here he is. Ned Flimsy. Boy, little dab will do you. What do you say there? Little Richard, how are you? Let's go play some checkers after the game. Good to see you. Charlie, how are you? Of course, Charlie can't talk. You know, he was in the silent movies. You want to say, oh, Big LT. We call him BLT. Phone for you. There you go. Ron and Nancy, America's cutest couple. How are you? I said, how are you? Yeah. Well, you know, just say yes to mathematics. Here you go. Gorilla in our midst. Sorry about that one, folks. Martha, America's first lady. How are you there? And George, you know, I love your bridge. Yeah. He knows what I'm talking about. Michael, of course, you're bad. Beat it. Ah, George, hey, read my lips. I have no hips. Let's eat some chips. We'll see you later. This is going to be a great day, folks. Now, I'll tell you what. We're talking about mathematics, all right? So what we want you to do is just think about it. Not adding, like 2 plus 2 is 4. Not just adding, or subtracting, or multiplying, or dividing. You see, now that's arithmetic. But that's just a little bitty part of mathematics. Because you see, we're also talking about, estimation, for example. Now, estimate how many times you estimate every day. I will estimate that you'll estimate an inestimable number of times. Isn't that right? Tasty. I love it. So listen, folks, just pledge us your use of math. Here's what we want you to do. We want you to find 12 people who haven't pledged and tell them to pledge, right? Tell them to watch Square One TV, okay? Then tell each of them to tell 12 new people about our shows. Now, folks, hang up your phones and listen to this. Because you're going to love it, all right? Look at this.
Hey, dude.
Hey.
If one person in our audience tells 12 people about Square One Television, and they each tell 12 people, that would be 144 people that would know about the show and pledge their use of math.
144 people, not bad. And this 12 with a little 2 next to it, what does that mean?
Yeah, that means 12 times 12 or 12 squared. And if each of those 144 people would tell 12 more people...
Let's see, that would equal 12 to the third, or 1,728 people.
Yeah, and look what would happen if each of those folks told 12 people, 12 to the fourth. That would be 20,736 more guys.
Incredible. You know, that's more than enough people to fill up Madison Square Garden, where we could all sit and watch the Knicks choke.
Hey, watch it, you. And if they each told 12 people, you'd have about the population of Savannah, Georgia. And if they each told 12 people...
Let's see, that would be 12 to the 6th, or 2,985,984. Yeah, that's about the size of the population of Los Angeles, California.
It doesn't take much to get the news out about math. 12 to the 7th power would roughly equal the size of New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. That's 35,831,808.
Amazing. And 12 to the 8th equals 429,981,696. Oh, yeah. Woo! That's incredible. You know, that's about the population of the entire continent of North America. We would be golden. Just think of our ratings.
Ooh, and think of this. If each one of those guys told 12 more people, that would be 12 to the 9th.
Which equals 5,159,780,352.
Larry, do you know that that's about the population of the entire world?
In 9 simple moves.
Wow.
So, like I said, folks, please go out and tell 12 people about Square One TV. Please.
Larry, Beverly? Larry, Beverly!
Yes. Yes.
It's Paramount Studios.
Yes.
From Hollywood.
Yes.
They only want the chimp.
Oh, well, look, I've been writing a really terrific screenplay.
Here, I could drive you around and, you know.
$1 billion. 1 billion is 1,000 million. 1 million seconds is only about 11½ days. But 1 billion seconds is almost 32 years. 1 billion.
This is the Michigan Stadium, the largest college-owned football edifice in the world. On autumn Saturday afternoons, 101,701 fans gather here to cheer on their team. When the stadium is empty, and just to keep busy, a lone cheerleader places one postage stamp in the center of the playing field. Do you know how many stamps it would take to cover the entire playing field of the Michigan Stadium?
Yes, it would take about 7,900,000 stamps to cover the Michigan Stadium playing field.
Wow.
It's true. Row, row, row your boat gently down the street. Merrily,
I can't eat.
merrily,
I can't sleep. That
merrily,
computer's constant singing. It's driving me space crazy.
Take it easy, Irv. He's been at it for almost 2 weeks now. He's bound to tire out sooner or later.
You forget, Dave. I am a Series 34 Alpha supercomputer. I will never tire out.
Well, couldn't you at least try singing another song?
Must you shout, Irving? Don't you like Row Your Boat? I sure do. Row, row,
You gotta do something, Dave. You gotta get him to stop singing, Dave. You gotta get him to stop singing.
All right, Irv, I have an idea. Hank, I hate to disturb you, but do you think you can run a program for me?
Sure, Dave. That's what I'm here for. But if you are trying to distract me from singing my favorite little ditty, I must remind you that I am a Series 34 Alpha supercomputer, capable of running even the most complex programs in a matter of seconds. When I have finished your program, I will go back to warming. Row, row your boat. I will never tire out.
And I look forward to it. Okay, here's the program. Step 1, start with 3. Step 2, add 4. Here's step 3. Stop if the sum is even. If not, go to step 2.
Oh no. You can't do this to me. Please, Dave. I thought we were friends.
Run the program, Hank.
But Dave, I want to be a crooner.
Run the program now, Hank.
That was a dirty trick, Dave. 7, 11, 15, 19, 23,
can't believe it. You got him to stop singing. How did you do it, Dave? Hank is programmed to work through a program until it is finished. I simply gave him a program that can never be finished. A process that never ends. Write it down, Irv. Try to figure it out for yourself. You too. Step 1, start with 3. Step 2, add 4. Step 3, stop if the sum is even. If not, go back to step 2.
7.
Go ahead, try it. But I'd stop after a couple of light years if I were you. After all, you'll never reach an even number.
9.
Row, row, row your boat.
The story you are about to see is a fib, but it's short. The names are made up, but the problems are real.
It was Wednesday, 3:43 p.m., and the annual St. Willard's Day Parade along Fifth Avenue was still going on. Most of the tie-dyed llamas had passed the judge's stand, but some of the juggling Willards had yet to be blessed and were refusing to perform. I was working the day watch out of Mathnet, on loan from LAPD to NYPD. My partner is George Frankley. The captain is Joe Greco. My name is Monday. I'm a mathematician. We were working on a case we called Swami Scam, a diabolical plot which seemed to be aimed at retired lawyers who were trying to get richer quicker. They had paid a Swami money for a tip on a horse race, and they bet on the race and lost their money. We took a peek at earlier scenes to update our thinking. And the horse didn't win the race?
Win it? He barely survived it. Ran dead last.
The other victims told us the same story. They had been convinced by earlier predictions the Swami had made, which were correct, that he could do no wrong.
I bet $25,000 on that nag, and as far as I know, he is still at the gate.
Through logic and common sense, we learned that the envelopes sent to the 4 victims were all run through the same postage meter. We figured we could find out who owned the meter and nail our culprit.
Guess what? I talked to the manager of the mailroom at Interfacing Swine. He said those letters most certainly went through his meter machine.
So we can trace them, find out who put them through, and we've got our Swami.
Would that we could. There are hundreds and hundreds of people there. Impossible to trace.
Rats.
Another blind alley. But we had to keep trying. We decided to check up on the particular race our victims had bet on, the beefsteaks. We borrowed a copy of the racing form from our new associate, Benny Pill. There were 4 horses our lawyers had bet on, but there are 6 horses in the race.
And there were 2 left over.
Maybe not. Maybe those horses were also sent out as predictions.
Tips, Kate. In the sport of kings, we call them tips.
Whatever. But those 2 horses could have meant another $5,000 apiece to the Swami. He probably sent them out to somebody.
Since our victims were all retired lawyers, we asked our boss, Captain Greco, if he could get us a list of retired lawyers. He did, and a random survey of them turned up something interesting.
Yeah, look. 8 lawyers got 1 letter from the Swami. 5 lawyers got 2 letters. 3 lawyers got 3 letters. 2 lawyers got 4 letters. And 1 lawyer got 5 letters.
The captain said he had talked with all but the lawyer who got 5 letters. We asked him why not.
Why not?
His phone's unlisted.
That's strange.
Not really. He's a retired show business lawyer. Here's his address. I'd check him out if I were you.
Thank you for meeting with us, Mr. Mason.
A pleasure. Great pleasure. Always a pleasure to speak with mathematicians. I once handled a divorce case for a mathematician.
Difficult case?
No, I did it by the numbers.
Figures.
But I'm sure you didn't come here to listen to me be clever.
You became a judge, did you not?
Yes. I sat on the bench for nearly 9 years.
Weren't good enough to get in the game, huh?
George.
How long did you have to practice law before you were good enough to do it?
George.
I guess you'll be the judge of that.
You said you needed information about a Swami.
Yes, Your Honor. We have reason to believe you received a tip on a horse named Runaground.
We think you were told it would win the beefsteaks at Belmont.
And we think you received 4 letters accurately predicting events before the tip. Is that right?
Yes. 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 It is true.
You paid the Swami $5,000?
Yes.
Why didn't you file a complaint with the police when you lost your money?
I was too embarrassed.
So you did bet on the horse and you lost your bet as well?
No. Luckily, Runaground didn't run the race.
He was hurt?
He was scratched.
He itched?
Scratched means he didn't run, for any number of reasons.
The horse didn't run, so you didn't bet.
Exactly. But I'd already sent a check to the Swami for the tip. And when I called my bank, the check had already cleared. I couldn't get my money back.
Do you have your canceled check, Mr. Mason?
Yes. Here it is.
Made out to the Swami. Where was it cashed?
Bank Naomi. May I borrow this check, Mr. Mason?
Yes. But promise me one thing. Don't cash it again.
George and I stopped at Bank Naomi to see if the bank's management could tell us who cashed Mr. Mason's check. We were told it was the same John Doe of 123 Elm Street, Anytown, USA. We were also told he had withdrawn all his money, $30,000, and closed the account 2 days ago.
Well, Pard, we've got just about enough time to dress for the theater. Perhaps a night on the town will buoy our spirits.
Uh-huh. Want to pick me up?
I'll send my car round. Enjoy the first act, Kate?
Well, it's different.
I think it is an amusing little flood. The dungeon sets are so drab.
Don't you just love the prosecutor's boots?
I don't see how this can last one night.
I think it'll run forever.
I saw Clive Barnes. He was asleep.
You can't miss.
Well, that's your opinion.
I wonder if they'll show up for Act 2.
I can hardly wait to read the reviews tomorrow morning.
I don't think they'll be much good. I think it's a bomb.
I think it's going to be a hit.
Everybody seems to feel as strongly as we do. Some of the people will be right and the rest will be wrong.
Kate, you're right. Some will be right and the rest will be wrong. Two groups.
So?
Okay, imagine this. Suppose the Swami was to predict the success of this show.
Uh-huh.
And he sent out his letters.
What would the letters say?
Half of them would say the show will be a hit.
Yes. And the other half would say it would be a flop.
Exactly. So the next day, when the critics decide...
Let's say they decide it'll be a hit.
Those people who got letters predicting a hit would believe the Swami had special powers.
And the other half would just dismiss the letter as junk mail.
Let's get back to the office, Kate.
Now? Well, what about the second act? What about Sardi's? What about dancing at the Rainbow and Stars?
There's no time for that, Kate. Let's roll.
I called the lawyers whom Captain Greco had found for us. Each had received a minimum of 1 letter and a maximum of 4 letters from our fortune-telling Swami, and it gave us another pattern. The last letter each received had a wrong prediction.
The last prediction was wrong, right?
Right.
Kate, look at this. Let's work backwards.
What do you mean?
We know that at least 5, probably 6 letters were sent out about the horse race.
Why probably 6?
Because there were 6 horses in the race, remember?
Right. And 12 were sent out about the primary election?
No, 24. He needs 6 correct predictions of the election. So he needs to use the candidates' names 6 times. There are 4 candidates.
So he sent out 6 times 4 letters predicting the election outcome, 24.
Before that, there was the trial.
A guilty or not guilty question.
Yep. He sent out 48 predictions. 24 saying guilty, 24 saying not guilty. The football game was before. He sent 96. 2 times 48.
So the basketball game required a minimum of 192 letters, predicting 96 right, 96 wrong.
What an ingenious scam.
Uh-huh. But you know something, Pard?
What?
He sure went to a lot of trouble for $30,000.
But it was almost all profits.
What do you mean?
Well, let's see. He sent out a total of 366 letters at 25 cents each. That would cost $91.50 in postage. And he didn't even have to pay that.
Yeah. He probably had a friend who worked for Interfacing Swine and just had him run them through the meter. No way to trace him that way.
Hello. What's this? It's a message for you, Kate.
It's from Homer Dweedle.
Didn't know you knew a Homer Dweedle.
He's the man I spoke with at Belmont Park. Called to say that a woman just cashed in some tickets on a horse race.
That's nice.
She won $500,000 on gum legs and the beefsteaks. I have her address.
Let's roll.
The woman's name was Elmira, and she lived in a beautiful brownstone building on the fashionable Upper East Side. It was the kind of New York scene you're always seeing on television or in the movies.
Good evening, sir. I'm Kate Monday. This is my partner, George.
Frankly,
Mathnet. I apologize for the lateness of the hour, but it's very important that we see Miss Elmira.
I'm sorry, but Madame is preparing to retire in repose with a repast.
She's having cookies and milk and hitting the hay?
Who
is it, Sleeves?
Two people from Mathnet, Madame.
What is it you wish to talk about?
Gum legs.
Come in.
Please sit down.
I'll come right to the point.
Good. I like people who come right to the point. My fourth husband did. It was an epic.
We know you've been sent a number of future predictions from a man called the Swami.
Do you?
Yes, ma'am. The Swami is running a scam in New York and is cheating downright upstanding citizens out of their money.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Miss Elmira, are you a retired lawyer?
Yes. But I don't know anything about any Swami.
But we know that you do.
You know no such thing. I'll thank you to leave. Sleeves, show these people out. Good evening.
Kate, I don't get it. Why would she lie to us?
George, this nice little old lady just won $500,000 in a horse race. She probably thinks she can lie to anyone she pleases.
You know, sometimes there's no justice even in crime.
What do you mean?
Well, the Swami sets up this scam and makes $30,000. Elmira just plays along with it and makes $500,000.
Uh-huh.
Pencil, mister?
What?
Want to buy a pencil? Maybe for the lady? They make swell gifts.
Sure, son, I'll buy a pencil for the lady. How much are they?
$50,000.
$50,000? Isn't that kind of steep for a pencil?
Maybe. But if I could sell just one.
Oh, I see what you mean. No, thanks. Boy, it is expensive to live in New York. Everybody's got a scam.
George, wait.
I'm not going to buy it, Kate.
The scam. The scam. She collected $500,000, right?
Yeah?
The Swami only made $30,000, right?
Right.
So far.
You mean
Maybe the scam isn't over. Maybe he's going to pay a call on Elmira again.
100% of Square One TV is a production of the Children's Television Workshop. For a complete set of Square One TV teacher resources, send a check for $9.95 to CTW School Services, Box SQTV, 1 Lincoln Plaza, New York, New York, 10023. This program was made possible by grants from the National Science Foundation, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, the U.S. Department of Education, the Carnegie Corporation of New York, and by people who contribute to this station and other public television stations.
This is PBS.